Okay, this will be an interesting one if we can make it look good. This will be a challenging one, potentially. Going at 400 for this. Going to leave the contrast. Okay, let's see what we have. We have here a piece of sheer sort of fabric, sort of some material that we've got here. It's all torn. You can just see up close you can just see the little torn bits. They look interesting. They could potentially make a really, really good demo. I'm just going to drop it on the glass like that and see how we go. Let's see how that's turned out. Yeah, it looks interesting, but it's very, very dark. Looks shit, actually. Wondering if maybe we're going to put the dock feeder down on it. We're just going to rumble this up a bit, runch it up a bit, and just drop the dock feeder onto it. So we're just going to rumple it and just drop our dock feeder on it and see what we get. I'm actually thinking we might have to darken it now so it'll show up better. So we're just going to go here and we're just going to darken it just a fraction-ish. This is challenging, folks, as you see. It's not an easy one to do. Okay, out it comes. Yeah, that looks interesting. Yeah, but it's still not as good as I'd like it to be. You can see the lovely shimmering effect on camera here. It looks really nice. Maybe we can lessen the enlargement. .260 by 260. This will be a challenging one, folks. I do think this one's going to be really difficult. Anyway, that looks interesting, but it's not what I would like it to be. Wondering if we're going to just enlarge a section out of here. So which one are we going to use? We're going to use that. And perhaps that's a good question, what we can do with this, folks. I'm actually thinking we're going to open the dock feeder, and we're just going to maybe rumple it further, put it together like so, and maybe, don't know what we're doing with this, folks. This is a difficult one. This is a really, 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 really difficult, folks. Going 300 by 300. This is a difficult one, but it has potential, folks. It's one of those originals that can really look good if you know what you're doing with it. If you can do something decent with it, you know, you can make it into something really nice. I don't like this one. Don't know what to do with it, folks. It's one of those originals that you just can't work with. And you can and you can't. Trying to think what to do with it, folks. How to make it look a stunner. How to make it look really, really nice. To make it into a work of art, folks. I'm just trying to see how to make it. Maybe I can just flatten it totally and just put the dock feeder on it and just make this into something more interesting. So I'm wondering where I'm dropping it. So we've got A6 by A6. So that's a simple enlargement, and we've lost our settings, folks, just before I had a chance to, yeah, we've lost our settings. Too much fart arsing around, folks. Too much fucking around. But, you know, it happens, you know, it's human, to err is human, folks. It does happen. It's easy to fuck things up. Some things are more fucked than others when it comes to making errors. Sometimes it's really hard to forgive yourself for what you've done in the past. However, and it's really hard, folks. I've done some stupid things in my life that I really, really wish I could take back. But I can't. I have to forge forward. I have to work on this stuff and rebuild my life. And it's really hard to tolerate the shit that you've just left in your fucking wake, so to speak. You know, it's really hard to deal with the shit that you leave behind. I'm wondering, that looks really a nice shape. It looks a bit light, a little wishy-washy. Wondering what we can do to make it look better. But basically, yeah, it's a real shit fight. In my life, I fuck things up, and I just struggle every day to forgive myself. I'm missing a loved one because I fucked up, folks. I'm missing a loved one. I really miss Luigi dearly. I really miss him, folks, for all the shit that I've done in my youth. I really miss being with Luigi. And I just know that I've fucked everything up and I can't get back what I've lost. But I'm trying to rebuild my future. You gotta fucking... I have to one day put down my anger about the past. One day I have to forgive myself. One day, now that looks really nice colour-wise. One day I have to forgive myself of what I've done in the past. And that's a challenge. That's a real challenge, folks. It's a real difficult one to try and get the past away, to get rid of it, folks. You can't get rid of it, folks. You can't stop it. You can't put it... You have to put it behind you, folks, but you can't basically keep getting angry at yourself or the circumstances or both. You have to fucking get in there and forgive yourself and forgive those people who also may have contributed to the problem. Let's see how we go with this. So yeah, we just have to somehow put it behind us. We must somehow, as a part of the human race, we have to fucking fix our, try our best to put it behind us. That is really a hard thing to do, is to put the past behind us. However much we keep on harping on the past and what we have done wrong and shit like that, somehow we have to forgive ourselves. Now, I don't know how this is working. This one doesn't look like it's working very well. This is not as easy as I was hoping. You could call this the past, you know, when you fuck things up, like you make your photocopies look shit. You got to forgive yourself. Wondering what we can do with this piece of work. I don't seem to be getting anywhere with this one, folks. I don't seem to find any method to make this into a really, really, really nice piece. I'll have to be inventive about it, maybe turn this into a movement piece when we've enlarged it enough. But yeah, we have to fucking put our past behind us and just strive for a brighter future. You know, if you know what you got to do, that's part of the plan of rebuilding after a disaster in your life, is to basically rebuild. Now we're going to make this into a movement piece, I do think. I wonder if I could start moving it like here first and see what we get. But yeah, we got to build up from the past what we've fucked. But you know, that's just what being human's all about, is making heaps of errors. But this looks shit house, folks. I'm going to use that. I'm not going to use this anymore. I'm just going to put it aside. I'm going to use this as my... Wondering how we're going to make this work, folks. Going to put that in the corner. I'm going to have to maybe drop the enlargement to 200. Map mode. Should have used map mode to start with, I think. We just have to remove the negative, positive, and all the features that go with it. But basically we have to fucking whatever. I think I've spoken about it too much now. I'm just repeating myself. I'm getting a bit boring. You know, you got to just put it behind you, folks. This is going to be a really long demo, folks. Let's see how that one came out. Yeah, that looks good. That looks like something we can actually work with. And we've got some of the tassely bits. We're not finished with it yet. So we're just going to put this away. And we're going to use this. And we're going to try to make it into something more interesting. Let's see how that looks as a piece. That looks really nice. That's looking promising. I can see nice little shapes forming. Wondering, going to put this away and we're going to do another. We're going to do another piece again. We're going to try it again. So we're just going to try that again. I knew this demo was going to be prolongated. I had a gut feeling it would. And this looks really nice marbled. That looks like a really good effect. We're going to use that as our master copy. So, okay, we've been a bit patient with the system that we're using. Wondering how big we're going to make it. So we're going to make the horizontal 104. And the vertical is going to be 104. So we're nearly finished with this piece. So this is it. We have to, the enlargement's been changed. I thought for a moment I forgot to do that. Left it on 200, it didn't. We're just going to go and we're going to maybe leave it and maybe change this to copied paper. We were on map mode all this time. So now this is going to be a really nice complete demo. So this is our first piece of this new setup. I'm wondering where the centre of the job's going to be. It's going to be there, or where is it going to be? I'm wondering where the centre of this. I was thinking there to start with. Hear the cicadas calling now. It's going to be a hot summer, folks. Here in Sydney, Australia. It's going to be a hot one. Wondering where, it's just hard to know where the centre of this job really should be. So I'm just trying to line up the corners. Not very good lineup, it's a bit curly. But the cicadas are a part of our Australian summer. Oh, the Americans get it too, you know, can't forget that. Because I know the Americans have their own cicadas. Okay, let's see how we go with this. These are our mirrors. Cicadas, aren't they beautiful? They are the most beautiful creatures. One of my most favourite creatures. They're so cute. They're so pretty. Come in different colours and stuff. Anyway, that looks really quite nice. I think now we can call this demo quits.